Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. The season has been going pretty well. We've been doing alright in Europe and we've got a job offer. Welcome back. So as usual, we'll start off with the fixture since you were last with us. So following the Bromby game, we had a 3-1 away win at Fahava with Mark Helm getting 2 and Adam Pinter getting 1 goal. We then had another win against Keksmeti at home. Kun Temesnikov, Oni Valkari and Adam Pinter with the goals. We had a 5-0 win in the Hungarian Cup third round away at Papa, non-league team really. It was a bit of a one-sided match. Hat-trick from Oliver Jurgens, which is a sight to be seen. Then we had a home game, first one in the Conference League against Shkengia, which I think is a Israeli team, I believe. No, is it Israeli? Macedonia. Sorry, my apologies for all those. I got the wrong country. 5-1 victory with James McGarry, Temesnikov, Zahari, Kasonka and Valakari with the goals. We then fell to a defeat to Ferencvaros, who is turning out to be our nemesis. Every time we have a great bit of form and we're doing well at the top of the league, they step in. And it was a truly one-sided game. We weren't even in it at all. We then followed that up with a 3-1 loss at home to Vasas, another one of the big teams. Corbu getting a consolation goal. We had taken a lead in that match, but unfortunately we weren't able to hold on. And again, it was fairly one-sided. We recovered slightly away at Győr. James McGarry getting a goal in a 1-1 draw. We then played Hapoel Be'er Sheva, that is the Israeli team that we played. A 1-1 draw. Adam Pinter with a goal. Then we surprisingly we got knocked out of the Hungarian Cup, which was a bit of a hard one to take. I went into that with I wouldn't say a weak team, but a rotated team, thinking we would walk all over them. And we stepped away with a 2-0 defeat, that's on me. You've got to take that on me. I should have fielded the stronger side. I didn't, and I couldn't recover it. So, unfortunately, we were out of the Hungarian Cup, which I think would have been our best chance of winning a trophy this season. We then followed up with a 3-0 win at home to Pax to get our league back on track. So, Kasongvar, Jurgens and Temesnikov with the goals. And then we had a 1-1 draw, credible against Tromsø. Temesnikov getting a goal in that one. Puskos Academia, we got a 3-2 win over, which is one of the big teams in the league, so that was quite pleasing. Bennett, Temesnikov and Sexardi with the goals. Unfortunately, we then lost to ZTE, another one of them teams that we can't seem to get too much of a result against. Adam Halmai and Pinter with the goals from our point of view, but as you can see, they had an 87th minute winner. We were 2-1 up in that match, and unfortunately, we weren't able to hold on. Then another really massive game. We got a 2-1 victory away at Lillestrøm in the Conference League, both goals from Temesnikov. And then we got a league game against Ujpest, a 2-2 draw. Temesnikov again in Zahari. And then just before now, we had a 3-0 win against MTK. Temesnikov getting 2 and Pinter getting 1. I was looking to play forward to the Fahava and Brentford games, however, as I said in the intro, we've been given a job offer at Bristol City. So it's not one of the massive teams. I've had a quick skim through. They're in the Championship, they're rock bottom. They're quite a way outside of safety. So I'm not sure whether to take it or not. I think it's worth doing the interview. They are a much bigger team than us in terms of stature, if I can find it. So they're 3-star. If I can find Budafok, I think we're 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 stars, so slightly bigger. I think it's a bigger league as well. There's some downsides to it. We'd be out of Europe. We wouldn't be competing at the top end of the table. We'd be on for a squad rebuild. But the positives are we'd be in England, closer to that goal of maybe winning the Premier League in the future. So we'll do the interview. We'll see what they say, and I won't necessarily accept it. But we'll play the 2 games and we'll see if it comes in before the end of the episode. So, concerns we've never previously managed in this country. Well, again, we've always been keen to manage in that country, so that's fine. Only ever managed one team throughout your career. I think I've dedicated... not had the longest career. Are you able to ease our worries about losing the backing of your players and the subsequent airing of dirty laundry in public? I think we're quite good with the atmosphere, so I think we can quite happily promise that. Would be potentially replacing someone who did not enjoy a good relationship with the fans. Could you do better? I think, yeah, we could. We don't want to repeat the last manager who had to part company earlier than expected. Would we be around for a while? We haven't. No, I don't think I'd want to promise to stay for a long time. I think we've got a proven track record of spending considerable time. Last manager didn't get on well with the fans. Would you be able to better it? I think, yeah, we can if you didn't do well. What would make you the ideal to save a club unexpectedly struggling against relegation? I think we're a good motivator and spirits high. How would you feel about working with current director of football? Yeah, happy. Allowed to request changes to the backroom board. Yeah, we don't need to change any. Or develop players using the club's youth system. I find that quite interesting. That'd be good. Work within the wage budget. It's a bit of a gimme. Grow the reputation. Maximum contracts for the older players. Pretty standard. So avoid relegation and be competitive in the FA Cup. So we're still in that. Grow reputation and work towards developing the Championship's best youth system. It's quite interesting. Grow the reputation. Top half finish. Top half finish. Top half finish. Top half finish. So I mean that seems reasonable. I think we could do that. If we were hired, I think we could avoid relegation. I'm not sure about finishing mid-table. A transfer budget of 10.87 million when we thrive on free transfers. That is a lot of money. I think we'd agree with that. A wage budget of 400. I mean, that's bigger than any transfer budget we've ever had. So you can tell is a massive club compared to Budafok. No disrespect to Budafok. Loved my time there, but this seems like it might be a step up. We'd be happy with the wage budget. Anything to help the club go forward? Is there a way we can... If they want us to do the youth facilities, which one would benefit that? The recruitment network. No, we won't push our luck. Maybe should have, but... So we've done the interview. What I'll do is I'll click through to the next game. We'll play a league game, which is Kisvada, I think. Yeah, Kisvada away, and then probably Shrinsky in the Conference League. I don't think we'd be able to push our luck to the Brentford game. That'll have to probably wait till another day. Possibly, if we do or don't take the job. So what we'll do is we'll play them games. If the Bristol City offer comes through, we'll end the episode there. And we'll probably do some kind of vote in the chat to see whether we stay at Budafok or move to Bristol City. So it's going to be an exciting episode. We'll see when that comes through. But bear with me as I click through to the next match. And just as I clicked onto the next screen, we've got an absolute disaster. Tomeznikov, 3 to 5 weeks out. We're going to have to leave him to the physio. And to put in perspective how much of a blow that is, if we go home, he's our top goal scorer on 22 goals. I think if we look in the league's award, where's the award? It's the stats, player stats. I think he is top penalties, top goal scorer, top expected goals. So he's going to be a massive miss. So he's scored a lot of goals, as you saw in the schedule in the review of the last matches. And it's time for Jurgens to step up. If there was an opportunity, now's the time. So we'll see how we get on without him. I'll carry on. But that's some bad news. So starting lineup today, away at Kisvada. Then we've got Sentic in goals. Back four, it's all fairly settled now. Magari, Saksadi, Zahari and Bennett. Midfield three of Kasongvai, Kasonka and Valakari. And then a front three of Pinter, Jurgens and Halmai. Again, there's been some unhappiness in the squad recently around the goalkeeping department. It all started with Kasonka saying that he didn't think we had strength in depth. We brought in a lone goalkeeper, Michael Coxis, and we also signed a free transfer goalkeeper to try and appease him, Patrick Vassell. Not particularly great, but he was the only one available on a free, and it didn't sort out their woes. So the demise of the morale continues. He has just come out and said he's a little bit happier now, but that is been another spanner in the works in terms of form, which has led to us dropping down to, I think we're third in the league, although we are within touching distance. So we'll get them out there. we've had some good results recently. We've had some poor ones, but let's see if we can get back on the goal trail. I'm not sure how we'll do without Komesnikov because he's such a threat from corners. As we go a goal down in a minute and a half, Luka Mack with a goal from the edge of the box following a corner. So not the start to the episode we wanted. Corner comes in. We had 3 players challenging Jurgens initially. We did close him down, but ball goes through a body of players. Sendic is onside, and unfortunately it's gone in the back of the net. So yeah, I think we've got an attack before I put anything else in. Kasonk with the ball down the left. He's giving it away. They clear it. Looks like they've got a chance for a counter. Bennett wins it back. Solid defending from Bennett. Zahari down the right to Pinter. He's lost it. Kasonka wins it back. We're not doing well holding on to the ball. Normally we're quite good in the possession-based play. Zahari now into Kasonka down the right to Pinter. He comes back. Bennett in the middle. Kasongvai. And he has a great strike from the edge of the box, but it just goes over. Game fairly early. Bennett with a throw down the right-hand side into Valakari. Turns it to Pinter. He bends it and hits the post. Halmai is unable to put it back into the box, and the move fizzles out. Valakari with a free kick at the edge of the box, and again he's hit the frame of the work as well. Goes back into Jurgens and he can't get in. So we are trying, we're knocking on the door. Not quite sure why he can't do what Tomesnikov does, but it certainly is frustrating as they break down the right hand side. Chance for a second, and it's their turn to hit the woodwork. So only 1-0 down, could be 2-1 up, could be 2-all. It's not been the best of performances as we coming up to half time. In it goes again. I did think for a second we might have given away a penalty, but it looks like it's gone straight through. I normally we play in red, so it's a bit confusing for me. Into the dressing room then. I think we are a bit unlucky. I don't want to put their heads down too much. There's really much we can do in terms of replacing Jurgens. That's the issue. And with Tomesnikov being out for as long as he is now, that's going to upset us in Europe and in the league. So, yeah, and again, it's all them at this stage. We're going to go attacking. The corner comes in. Again, they hit the post again. I mean, the woodwork's taken an absolute pound in this game. McGarry gets out for a throw-in, but Valakari's shattered as well. As McGarry has the ball at the back, plays into Kasonga. It's a bit better into Pinter, and he's hit the post again. How many times? Final 5 minutes. Sentic playing out the back to Zahari, to Bennett. Pinter brings it infield. Oh, and he's rolled the ball lazily to Kisvarden's feet. They break down the left hand side. Bennett tries to win it back, but not really full-blooded enough. And it's tipped over for a corner in the final minute. We've got 5 minutes of injury time, but I think we're going to have to chalk this up as a defeat unless something miraculous happens in the last 5 minutes. Sendic has the ball, and again another chance for them by the looks of it, unless we can rob the ball and make a break, which we can't. They've hit the post again there. And I mean, have you ever seen the ball hit the post so many times in one match? It's pretty phenomenal. But this hasn't been. And Komesnikov, this you can't put how much of an emphasis on that one player is, that he's our main goal scorer, and with him being out now and Jurgens not firing, we're going to struggle. What can we say? Well done, Kisvar. That's probably all we can say. So there's the league table. 15, I mean, we've drifted. We're 8 points off Ferencvaros now, which is a little bit too far away. So again, in terms of the job offer from Bristol City, doesn't look like we're going to win the league as it stands. We're out of the Hungarian Cup, and we're probably not going to win in Europe. So the offer looks more and more attractive as you look at it. But we'll keep going. We'll turn it around, and we'll find a way to get Jurgens firing, whether we change his role and do something different for the next match. But bear with me while I make some minor tweaks, and we'll be back for the European match. And it never rains, it pours. Oliver Jurgens has a gashed lower leg, and he's out for 6 to 11 days. So that really throws the cat amongst the pigeons. Not sure what's going to happen in the next match. We might be playing a goalkeeper up front if it carries on. We've got some big players out there. I mean, Corbu's injured. He's one of the other strikers you would have. So a bit more tweaking to do. I'll be back. Bear with me. And the bad news just keeps coming thick and fast. We've had our youth intake preview this year, and I mean, even our best players are D rating. So, I mean, I dread to think what state these are going to be when they come through. But we've got some D rated centre backs coming through, and then a whole lot of not very much. So, if we think reinforcements are coming through the youth system, I don't think that's happening this year. What happens next? That's the question. What is the next bit of bad news? And welcome back as our patchwork quilt of a team goes in for the Zrinski game away. We've got Sentic in goals, a back four of Bardos, Sexardi, Zahari and Bennett. Bardos coming back from a long-term injury as well, which is nice. Midfield three of Kazongvai, Bate and Valakari, pretty strong in the middle. And then the front three of Pinter, Aran Tibia and Halmai taking the position up front. So he's played there before. I'm sure he'll put in a shift and he'll do all right. He's no Temesnikov, but he's also no Ollie Jurgens. So somewhere in between we'll be happy. All we need to do is put in a performance to get a win. We're doing all right in Europe. I don't think we've lost one yet. I think we will when we play Brentford, and certainly there's always a chance here. But we're not doing terrible, and there's a chance we could get out of the group, which we'll see after the game when it shows the league table. Zahari with an early header, that was key. Good shot on target, but got out as they have a chance down the left hand side. Switched it to the right. Dukic swings into the box, a couple headers, and Sentic managed to pick it up, but we've still got a chance in this one. He says as Pinter picks up the ball on the halfway line, chance for a break there, but he turned inside. I don't know why he didn't pelt it down the wing. Maybe he's lacking in a bit of fitness. There's a lot of games coming thick and fast. I mean, being in Europe's having its impact. I'm sure anyone who's watching who's a West Ham or a Newcastle fan will attest to, as we go a goal down there, that the extra games are playing in Europe, so the constant weekend, midweek games, especially on a smaller squad, does take its toll. So we've been struggling with that. But there's only so much the wage budget can cope with, as Codro gets a break from the edge of the box and slots it home. Cue a swig of tea. To be behind. Pinter with a chance down the right now. Again, he's a lazy feedback and they've got a chance to break. I think that's made my mind up for Pinter. He'll be coming off. Unfortunately, that's 2 goals that he's kind of led to. I think Kovacs comes on. I don't think it's that he's having a bad game as such in terms of skill-wise. I think it's just fitness. Accumulation of games, heavy workload, call it what you want. But that was a couple of lazy passes giving the ball away, and we find ourselves 2-0 down, and it could be our first defeat in Europe. So when we said what's the next bit of bad news that comes, I think this might be it. Again, I thought we were in with a chance for this game. It was fairly even in terms of the pre-match predictions. Again, what do we say here? We're not being in it at all. I mean, Jurgen's being, we've got nothing really. I think we just shout at them. Play 2 strikers. Maybe they can play off each other. I know it's not 2 proper strikers. It's just 2 makeshift strikers. But maybe they can feed off each other as we go 3 down. And that's it really. It's been a bit of a horrific episode, isn't it? In terms of injuries to players. Potentially leaving Budafok. Losing to Kisvada. Both strikers being out, losing in Europe. Again, what's next? As Halmai gets a goal back, but surely 20 minutes isn't long enough to get back in the game. Bardos tries to keep it alive, breaks to Valakari. Aran Sibi gets a chance to drill it across. Halmai's at the 6-yard box and he finishes it, but I think it's probably too little too late. Are they going to get another chance, or are we going to break? I mean, we've tried to get the ball. I think they're just too strong for us. It'd be interesting to see where they are in terms of club stature, because it's not a team I've ever heard of, but they've absolutely put us to the sword today. Sabitovic straight through the midfield, 1-2 touch pass in, straight through the back 4, a lovely little dink over the keeper. And you've got to admire it. I mean, they've been the better team. I'm not going to sit here and say I've been FM'd, because I haven't. they've been absolutely dominant, and we've had no answer to them. As Pete tries to play the ball up, okay, it's almost like they've got an extra player somewhere. Kasonka into Aransibia, into Valakari, Kovacs, Bennett, Pete at the edge of the box. And again, we've got another one back. He's going to run and chase the ball. It's a fine effort to put this in and get a bit of a recovery towards the end of the match, but I fear it's going to be too little too late. Maybe goal difference will make a difference if we're clinging on to one of the playoff places, but I think we've got Brentford as our final game as we hit the end of the game, hit full time. Still a couple good performances, not the result we wanted. Sometimes the result doesn't go your way. I'm not satisfied with the performance. Yeah, I think we have to do better. He did have a good call, so there we go. I mean, I think the blue teams all go into a playoff. So actually, we are more than 3 points clear, so we might well get some kind of playoff from it, but I don't think we're getting into that top bracket where Brentford are, Roma. There's some big teams in there. So we've done all right to be competitive. There's Zrinski. Have a quick look at where they are. They're 3-star stature. Bosnian League. I don't know if I can look at it. No. But yeah, not great. Let's have a quick look at the inbox. I will click through before we get to the next game to see if the job offer comes through to end the episode. So bear with me and I'll be back. Welcome back for the final time this episode. As you can see, we have had a job offer come in, a firm offer to take over, not a Bristol City, but a Millwall. Not quite as good in terms of transfer budget and wage budget, but it is still an opportunity in the Championship and something we've got to consider. It's catch-22 for me. I mean, I love Budafok, and we're going to go from potentially a squad that we know inside out, which we've purchased nearly all these players, and we've moulded a squad that we think is capable of doing some great things. We've come second in the league. We've qualified for Europe. We're still in them competitions, and it's giving up that opportunity to move to Millwall, who are lurking down the bottom end of the table in the Championship. They have won a couple of games. They're up in 16th, but one of the mantras from that job offer is to sell players before you buy them. So it's a big rebuild in the summer, bit of a clear out. It's going to take a bit of fettling to get to know what the squad is, what they can do, and probably 1 or 2 seasons before we get them in ship shape for going up into the Premier League. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do we stay or do we go is kind of the question. That's what we're going to end the episode on. I'm kind of 50-50. I don't think we're going to win anything this season with Budafok because we got knocked out the easiest trophy we could have won, and Ferencvaros are already a few points ahead. It's not to say we can't win it, but do we take this chance now to move to Millwall in the Championship? Let me know in the comment section. Majority rules, and we'll go with that. So until next time, let me know. Take care. See you soon.